Welcome to Pisgah Forest, home to a huge array of remote and challenging mountain bike trails. To get anywhere here, you need to climb a few thousand feet. To get out alive, your bike needs to hold up to roots, sharp rocks, and sustained braking. There's no cell phone reception out here, and the trails are far too narrow for emergency vehicles. When your very life depends on your equipment, what value would you place on reliability? The fact that we're a Walmart is pretty irrelevant. It could just as easily be Target, Amazon.com, or even Canadian Tire. They all offer the same thing: bikes built and assembled to the lowest spec possible. With names like Trouble, Wipeout, Ambush, and Carnage, these bikes deliver what they promise. Settled on a pair of Genesis V2100s, which had front discs, threadless headsets, and half-decent saddles. As we checked out, reality started to set in. We'd be relying on these bikes for over 5,000 feet of elevation change. We need all the help we could get. Back at the house, I packed everything from sockets to gorilla tape to zip ties to extra food, lest we get stranded on the far reaches of Mount Mitchell. We set out with our new bikes in tow and kept two main goals in mind: make it down the trail in one piece, and finish it off with Mexican food. What started out as a ride quickly devolved into a grueling hike. It wasn't the gearing or even the weight. We just tried and couldn't. The tires had no traction, and the bikes flexed like crazy under any kind of torque. Once the grade evened out, we had a much easier time and started to clear some serious ground. We were enjoying nature, and it wasn't long before we reached our first downhill.
You know what? The suspension feels like it's doing something, though. Oh God, dude, I'm going over the... Oh God! Oh man.
Although it was only 50 yards, it was telling. Alex and I settled in for a long ride up the Old Mitchell Toll Road, knowing full well that the climb might be the easy part.
I am a little worried about my bottom bracket. It's just creaking and creaking and creaking. Oh man. And the bike flexes so much when you pedal.
We were climbing at a snail's pace, painstakingly choosing our lines. Our cranks started creaking, and our hubs began to eat themselves. But we picked our way up the toll road without encountering any major mechanical failures. In fact, we were enjoying ourselves.
When we're finished, we're gonna eat tacos and quesadillas, cheap beer.
For $149, Alex and I were taking part in an activity enjoyed by the likes of dentists and jewelers, with their pretty $6,000 bikes. What do those bikes do that these can't anyway?
Oh, this is bad. Oh, that was bad. Big rock hitting my chainring. Oh. Oh, it's mud. Oh. Oh. What is that? I think that was a rock stuck in my wheel. Oh. What is that? What is that sound?
On my trail bike, this janky rock garden is a blast. On this bike, I couldn't wait for it to be over.
Oh, I gotta get my...
Oh, your thing's ridiculous.
Yeah, let me get it out of this.
What is that?
It's just the bike. It's just everything on the bike creaking. I think I like climbing on this bike better than descending. Oh, crap. Oh. Oh. Oh, I would honestly like to go a little faster. All right, I'm gonna send her. You ready?
Sure.
Okay. Oh, that was a bottom out. Bad one. I think when it bottoms out, switch back. I think when it bottoms out, the tire actually hits the crown. Oh. Ah. Oh, that was bad. That sounds bad. Oh, my derailleur. My poor derailleur. What happened? What happened? Oh, maybe there was some merits to going a little slower.
What happened, bro?
Yeah, this derailleur's no good anymore.
We have to just take your chain off and you have to go...
I just have to go chainless. Bike is 1,000 times better without the chain. Smell brake pads. Oh. Oh, something just flew off my bike. Dude, when you see my front shock.
Is it bent?
I've had about enough of this. This is not fun anymore. Little hook. Oh.
As you can see, Alex had been going much slower than me. He had the sense to. His bike had not one bit of damage to it, while I was nursing a blown up fork and no drivetrain whatsoever. It was clear by this comparison that speed is the major destructive force on these bikes.
Oh, whatever just happened was bad. Oh. I have to stop for a second and give my hands a break, because I can't hold the brakes this hard for this long. Oh.
As I edit this video, my hands, arms, shoulders, and torso still hurt from this ride. On my trail bike, the brakes can be applied with one finger. On the Genesis, braking is a full-body workout that leaves you in pain for days.
Oh. Ah. Oh, my shoulder. Oh. Oh, I can think about tacos and burritos. We were in such good spirits on the climb. Ah, this is supposed to be our reward. I would rather be climbing right now.
Wow, I never thought I'd hear that.
Okay, take this really slow. Take the high line, and then still go off the side. Okay, this is the killer hill. This is steep. Oh, this is way too steep for these bikes. Is Alex cleaning it? Alex is cleaning it. Okay. Yes. Oh. 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 Oh.
We had made it to the end, sort of. We still needed to get to the car. Luckily, it was mostly downhill, and I could hitch a ride on Alex's backpack.
You alright? I feel like you kind of...
I
feel like
got
you're a little
beat up,
bummed
but
out.
I'm alright. I'm just beat, man. But you know what? There's nothing to be bummed out about now.
No, because we only got one thing left to do.
Cheers, my friend. Well done.
Playing around on department store bikes might be fun in games, but I found that riding one on an actual mountain bike excursion is not fun, and most definitely not a game. Still, I'm amazed that Alex's bike survived. Although he was using a lot more restraint than I was, everything from the gears to the brakes were working at the bottom. To Walmart's credit, there are warnings on these bikes that tell you not to take them on mountain bike trails. After our journey, I'd have reason to believe that on a flat dirt path, the Genesis V2100 would inconvenience you at the very most, not kill you. But just like sushi, tattoos, and cosmetic surgery, you'll regret cheaping out on a bike that you really intend on exploring the mountains with. If you want to fall in love with mountain biking, try renting something first, or save up $400 for an entry-level hardtail. In the meantime, you can hike these trails for free. With one of these, you may find yourself hiking anyway. If you enjoyed this video, I have plenty others on this topic. Let me know what you think below, and better yet, give me some ideas of what to do with these bikes next. Thanks for riding with me today, and I'll see you next time.